This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. These are 13 stories that we're following today, and thank you for listening. It's March 12th, 2024. First, the markets were fairly flat yesterday, with the Nasdaq and the S&P slightly down and the Dow slightly up. Second, the markets are now surging today. And this is fascinating because there's an inflation report that came in this morning that came in a little higher than anticipated. I think the reality is the markets analysts probably really were very scared that inflation was going to go worse than expected. And thus the fact that it came in just a little worse than expected, it has given comfort to the markets that Chairman Powell will continue to look at reducing rates this year. So I think it's fascinating to watch. But the S&P, the Nasdaq are all up 1% plus, even though inflation was a little bit higher than the markets projected. Third, NVIDIA dropped a couple percent yesterday, but it's still up 73% year to date. In terms of market cap, Microsoft's number one, Apple's number two, and NVIDIA's number three. Fourth, Microsoft is now up about 7.5% year to date. Apple's down about 10% year to date. Fifth, we're thrilled to have President Bush, Martha Stewart, Michael Strahan, and Coach Bill Belichick speaking at the Becker's Healthcare annual meeting come this April. That's April 8th to 11th. Jessica Cole for more information on that. Sixth, the Wall Street Journal writes about NVIDIA's surging in its investment in research development and other venture-type capital bets. There's a great business concept here that you better double down this investing in research while you have the money and things are going great. Because one of the first things that gets cut when companies have to get back to profitability in a hurry and are trying to cut cost. Here, NVIDIA is trying to accelerate their growth, accelerate their advantages. We give them great credit for doing so. Seventh, Porsche sees slightly lower margins this year coming up, 2024. Again, as Porsche used to say in their ads, there is no substitute. If you're back from my generation, you remember Risky Business when the kid pulls out of the parking lot in the Porsche. Great stuff. Eighth, Tesla rose slightly yesterday, but remains down nearly 29% year to date. Ninth, Darktrace, one of the cybersecurity firms, is up 25% year to date. Surprise upgrade in its revenues and margins reported by Evening Standard. Again, just a sign that this area for cybersecurity firms is just really ripe for success, especially there's so many cybersecurity problems out there. 10th, health systems, healthcare private equity funds facing more, investigation on antitrust and false claims than we've seen in years and years and years. Also, more ransomware and cybersecurity hacking. We have a separate podcast on 12 legal issues impacting health systems. We'll also at some point turn that into a podcast on 12 legal issues impacting private equity funds too. 11th, Viking Therapeutics, though down yesterday, is up 240% year to date. There's a great article in Motley Fool that if you missed the run-up in Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, Viking Therapeutics, another entrance to the weight loss drug area, may be a horse to bet on. Again, a tremendous climb in these stocks, along with the climb of NVIDIA, the climb of Microsoft. 12th, we'll talk about this separately in a podcast. When you watch NVIDIA pop, Eli Lilly pop, Novo Nordisk pop, Microsoft continue to run, there's great FOMO from investors, the fear of missing out. Did you miss out on something great? Did you mess up by doing so? And again, I tell people, take a breath, keep on investing in index funds. It's very hard to figure out which is going to be the winner, which is going to be the loser. The very best stock pickers have an impossible time doing this. So to believe that we could do it is hard to believe. Warren Buffett often says that the best investment for 95% of us is an S&P index fund, and I'm a believer in that. Finally, 13th, join us in May at the McGuire Woods Healthcare Private Equity event. If you want to join us in that, let me know. Let Amber Walsh or Holly Buckley know. Again, should be a great conference, May 8th to 9th in Chicago. I think it's about the 19th or 20th annual one that we've done at McGuire Woods. A couple of the quick notes. Oracle surging today, Southwest flailing today. Two other quick notes. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast.